a lot of things that have been said about you really hurt you. And it's especially, it's especially because um, it was so far from who you are. Um, and you've been grappling with this idea of, allowing there to be such an emphasis on what other people think, and realizing how detrimental it's been to you that you've relied on other people's opinions so much. So now that you are starting anew, you are starting to see that how important it is that you not rely on what they say about you, what they feel about you. And you realize how important it is to really know who you are. Um, there's a story of this girl. She was in this environment. We'll just say she was in this environment, and there was this other person who was really focused on her, always talking about her, always saying things about her, and and it was interesting because she had corralled some of the others in that environment. This person happened to be a female, but it can be anyone who does these things. But this happened to be a female, and she was corralling males into this as well to say things about this female and all of that. Um, and she would be doing like very, very unkind things, like unusually unkind things. And it was so interesting because you knew, or it seemed, that in her own life, she would either know the people to behave, correctly with, people she would never behave this way with. Sorry if I look different. I had to go. The space ran out, so I had to go, start it again. So yeah, it was just amazing to see that she knew who to treat well, whom to be so disrespectful to, like inhuman to, the way she was behaving. And it's funny, it reminds me of this video I just saw of this man that was saying, it was like something on the train. And this man was saying that people who say that they love animals more than people, that he was saying he had a problem with them. And it was just so interesting to me because I remember there were these two girls that I came across, and they said they loved dogs and they loved puppies, and they used to go in their neighborhood and look and see how they could rescue them. But the way they would treat human beings was, it was insane. It was just so uncalled for and so unkind. But I'm always fascinated by that because in their minds, I think that the love that they had for puppies, which, I love puppies, I love dogs too. But I don't think treating a human being badly and then being really good to puppies should sit right with you, you know. But I think in their minds, because of the love of that they had of those puppies, um, that absolved the extreme mistreatment of human beings around them on a psychological level, the way they would treat them, the things they would say. So anyway, this back to this other girl in this environment. So she was just she was doing all these things. It was interesting though because these males outside of the environment expressed something very different from what they were saying in her presence, because in that environment she had a certain amount of status. So it was almost like they were being paid to agree with her. But she would be, I think she was living in that world so much that she really believed the negative things that she said about other females, um, was, I think she really began to believe that that it was accurate, or that it was the perception that other people shared, because their being in her, their being, let's just say, their being in with her, was a big determinant for, whether they would continue, I will just say, in that environment. So